let me tell you one thing. Life is beautiful. And let me tell you why I'm recording this video right now. For a very long time, I've lived in a shadow of my own reality. I wanted to look tough, badass. I filmed pranks for over 6 years on my main channel, hoping that one day I'll become a millionaire and famous. I really had that in the back of my head when I started my YouTube channel, which currently has 450,000 followers. In 2019, when I was making anywhere from 5K to 10,000, well, I thought to myself, like, at the time, I don't have to work hard enough anymore, and I deserve to make this kind of money. And truly, I did work hard. My family stopped supporting me after I turned 18, and it's not because they didn't want to support me, simply because they have nothing to give me. Along with that, they live thousands of miles away from me. So once I completed my first phase of my life, which was once the only thing for a very long time since I was a child, all the way to my teenage years, and it was hockey. Yes, my entire childhood, my dad wanted me to become a hockey player, and I did for a while. In fact, I did play professional for almost a couple of years until I quit. And what do hockey players do after they quit? That's right, two things: coaching or find yourself elsewhere. So I decided to discover my new talents, and I went to work construction for $12 an hour. And of course, after my daily job, I would go do private lessons with kids for about $40 an hour. So every day I would come home very late, and eventually it led me to a divorce. Yeah, that was my early 20s. Then I slept in my car for about a month and decided to move to Seattle to work as an Uber driver. Just to give you an idea how broke I was, I had to trade my current car at the time for a better car in order to start driving Uber. And when you have $1,000 in your pocket, that's all you have, you can't really be picky. So I remember I traded my Hyundai Santa Fe 2003 for a Ford Taurus 2007. That was a piece of shit car. It broke me so many times, but it kind of like gave me like a good start to start working as an Uber driver. I remember in order to make good money, I had to sleep in my car at night and wake up in the middle of the night, 3-4 a.m. to pick up passengers from the airport, because that's where you would make the most money. It was a really difficult time from the end of 2015 all the way to the beginning of 2016. All thanks to my friend Artem, who let me sleep on his couch at a time when I moved to Seattle until I saved enough money and moved out. All along, I did that for about 2 years, and I remember one day I was driving these Indian guys, and they told me, dude, you look like an actor. You gotta find yourself in that industry. It got so deep into my brain that I went to Seattle Acting Academy and graduated with an excellent score. But to be honest, it was all bullshit. I went to that school just to waste my money. They didn't really teach me that much. At the time when I came there, I was already good at being on camera, I guess. So like I felt comfortable, but they were telling everyone, great job, you're good at acting, this and that. But that Acting Academy taught me one lesson for sure, that I can still pursue my dreams on my own without spending years of becoming an actor. As long as I keep digging, I'll find something. And I did for a while. I tried several castings. A lot of companies were telling me, you know, you have an accent, you can't do this, like a McDonald's commercial, for example. So I saved money and I decided to shoot my own short film. I wrote a script, I gathered a few friends to help me with the production, and I flew out to LA. Keep in mind, I paid all the expenses while still working for Uber. So I came to LA just for 3 days thinking that I'm gonna finish it. Then got in a fight with this fat friend who claimed to be the best director of all time. And of course, we ended up shooting only 10% of the entire plan. It definitely didn't go as I planned. So I flew back to Seattle, taking a separate flight from these motherfuckers. I was like, they're probably never gonna pay me back for any of the expenses. And I was correct. They never did. Fucking cheap losers. So I came back with $500 in my pocket. I was like, what the fuck should I do now? So I decided to sell all my furniture from my mini studio, made like $700. So I had like $1,200 in total. Hopped back in the car and then drove all the way to LA with $1,200. Keep in mind, California gas is not cheap. Somewhere around in March 2017, I paid $700 for a spot in a room on the couch with 3 guys in the apartment and continuing working for Uber. I mean, we all became really close friends eventually. Still to this day, actually. I met people in and there and finally decided to open my YouTube channel somewhere in the summer of 2017. It was definitely a grind after all. Getting my first million views, making my first money from YouTube, becoming a full-time content creator until fucking COVID. My views went down on my channel right after I filmed that COVID-19 prank video in January of 2020. From what I remember, in 3 days, it got like 300,000 views. And then of course, YouTube takes it down and strikes my channel. Not only I couldn't post anything for like a week. I feel like I was shadow banned because that topic was really sensitive at the time. The city was shut down, people didn't go out, and the content I was filming was mainly outdoors. I technically stopped posting for like good 2-3 months. So now we're getting getting close to the main point here. At the beginning of this video, I said life is beautiful. I went through a really hard time last year. Pretty much the entire year was a shit. I was depressed. I don't like talking about this, but at a certain point of your life, you reach a certain limit where you just can't do it no more. You can't take it, or you just can't. Or at least you look at this as you can. But in reality, when you find right people talking to you, when you find something to do, you look at things differently, not in the way you used to look at them. When you see the value in things that you've never seen before, when you constantly chasing views, trying to make living out of one thing, you don't really see the real life. And I feel like I've been living like this for several years. When you start making good money, you want to make more, which is understandable. It's all about surviving or buying nice things, right? It wasn't my case. I didn't really buy anything for myself. It was mainly paying for bills or sending money to my family, traveling back, see my family. That was my values. Some YouTubers' values are buying Lambos or McLarens, Rolexes, whatever. That wasn't me. It was never me. I was always a simple guy. But I did get caught up in certain things as of chasing dreams. It's not always chasing the right dreams. I don't think I learned how to sort people out of my life until I got into a bad accident last year with Ari. I already said in the previous video, Ari and cars. I mean, Ari is a scammer and he knows that, I know that. However, I'm not here to talk about him. Ever since the accident, I feel like I did learn a new skill, how to delete people from your life forever. And that's a really special skill to learn. And once you delete these people, you might lose something along with that. But you have all these opportunities, you have all these doors open in front of you. You have this grass, you have trees, people walking around smiling. You see these things differently. What if this guy's not making $10,000 a month? What if this girl is struggling with cancer? You look at these people in the simplest way possible, not the way you used to look at them before, just to get content out of it. I've been learning this skill and it's so amazing to transform from that Alex that was last year or even years before, becoming who I am right now. It's like I find value in those things and it's crazy how it works. Maybe I'm just getting older and I'm like becoming wise. This guy drives Lambo, good for him. This guy probably doesn't have any other values besides just buying expensive things. And I'm not gonna talk shit about people that make good money. Good for them, as long as you stay in a good person. I'm not necessarily chasing money in a way that I used to chase them. Views, you know, you gotta post content every day. If you don't post it, you're gonna lose your money. I feel like now I'm entering this new phase of my life. Again, there's several phases in your life for sure. For some of you, this might look similar to what's happening in your life, but I feel like I'm entering this phase where I'm like, I don't give a fuck about anybody around me that trying to show off. I care less how expensive your watch is or how expensive your car is, how many views you have. Some YouTubers show off like their bank accounts, like, or the cash in bags. I don't really give a fuck about you, dude. It just shows me that you have a shitty ass personality and I'll never talk to you. And trust me, when I say I don't want to talk to you, you probably think, oh, why would they want to talk to you? And trust me on this one, I'm not gonna mention names, but there's certain people that I was friends with for a long time and trying to contact me. I don't know why, because their lives are amazing, right? When I'm trying to meet my ends after my accident, I lost pretty much everything. But these people still trying to get some type of connection with you when they clearly have everything, but they still want something from you. I don't know why. And I personally don't give a fuck. Like I just move them away from my life, away forever, and never want to see them, never want to hear anything from them, and it feels amazing. With that being said, guys, life is beautiful if you don't lose hope. You have to find right people around you. When you're thinking about killing yourself, think about when you're gonna be old, 70, 80 years old, what are you gonna ask yourself at that age? You still have so many years to live and find so many ways to make money, to make people happy. You know, I still have family, I wanna see them, I wanna have kids, a wife. All these things are in front of you and they're the ones that make you happy. It doesn't matter how many views you get, it doesn't matter what kind of job you work at, as long as you find value in these things that you're doing. Don't be a scammer. When I mean by scammer, like a life scammer, don't try to f people over in real life. I did this for content. Even like a couple of months ago, I filmed this video on my main channel, like scamming people, but like for a prank, obviously. They knew it's a prank. It's different. I'm talking about like real life situations where you f***ing people over and then think it's cool. One thing, you're filming for content, but then you tell them it's a video. And the other thing is when you actually being an asshole. So these are different things. Follow this channel. I'll be posting daily vlogs on this channel. I already started a new job and I'm gonna show you my next video. It's gonna be a regular job with a basic income, no bullshit. You sometimes lose everything. As long as you get back on your feet, find hope, find right people, you're not gonna end up alone. You're not gonna be homeless. You're not gonna be an alcoholic. You're not gonna be doing drugs. I quit drinking alcohol. I quit smoking. I work out every day. Currently entering my new phase of my life where I'm finding way more different valuable things than I sounded before. So you always have hope and life is beautiful.